Okay, here we are again, back at it for the third installment of the original Star Wars trilogy in fulfillment of my commitment to the money raised for the Charm City Angels Star Wars for a good cause. We got a lot to cover in this one, as this film, Return of the Jedi, settles up a lot of plot holes and completes, or at least at the time completes, the story of Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, and the rest of the crew. If you're wondering why I'm talking so fast, there are two reasons for that. One is that the first two vlogs in the series were a bit lengthy, and I wanted to expedite the process somewhat, and the second is that I've been mainlining copious amounts of Dunkin' Donuts coffee to get through the trilogy. Before we begin, though, I want to send out a sincere apology to my mom for the use of the word slut when referring to Leia and her on-again, off-again tumultuous relationship with Han and Luke. Perhaps I was quick to judge, and my mom told me if I didn't have anything nice to say, I shouldn't say anything at all. And this wasn't when I was a kid. I mean, this was just the other day when she watched the last video and saw what I had said. So, sorry Mom, I love you, and I hope this video will make you more proud of the job you've done in raising me, although something tells me that won't happen. I just hope she has trouble keeping up with the rapid fire in which I'm delivering my latest Star Wars sermon. So, I wanted to say that I'm really appreciative of the way the scroll cliff notes begin each film. It gets you up to speed on what's been happening with the films. It sets the tone in a way that allows you to skip over those boring character development sequences and montages that are often accompanied by really bad 80s music by Peter Cetera. But we get right to the action in finding and retrieving Han Solo, as well as learning that Luke is on the cusp of becoming full-on Jedi. The tone is set in an eerie way, with a certain doom for the rebel cause, as the new space station is nearly operable and an attack is imminent. They find themselves on Luke's home planet, which is much nicer than previous planets, with all the green trees and shrubs and whatnot. Luke is plotting to get Han back from Jabba the Hutt, and he does so in a very unconventional way of asking nicely and selling his droids into slavery. How's that for gratitude? Oh dear, as RoboCop would say. We see Jabba the Hutt with his strange and eccentric crew, who apparently includes the evil boss Ganon from the video game Zelda. I really feel like I should have dropped some acid before watching the sequence with all the singing and dance choreography. Quite the spectacle. Jabba goes on to capture Leia after she unfreezes Han, and unfortunately he's unable to see for a period of time. A whole bunch of other things happened during this period, but honestly I couldn't tell you any of those, as I was too smitten by the hostage bikini garment that Leia was wearing when she was being chained to that giant booger. This alone is worth the price of admission to the movie. Wow, 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 wow. Let's just reflect on that for a moment. Sorry, I had to edit that part. No one wants to see me drooling. So then Yoda dies at the tender age of 900 in what can only be described as tragic and untimely. It really makes you think about the preciousness of life and how we all don't have much time. I mean, 900 years is so young to be taken. Why would it happen to such a nice green Jedi master? Spoiler alert, we come to find out that Leia is Luke's sister, twin sister at that. How perverse and taboo a topic, especially in the 1980s, when we potentially thought there was a romance between the two and they actually kissed at one point. Being twins makes you wonder if the feelings they had for each other were really feelings they had for themselves. It's like what happens when you look in the mirror each day and you want to kiss what's in front of you until you realize that it's a mirror and it wouldn't work. Well, it worked for them, and I'm just glad it all worked out for the best for those two bourgeois narcissists. So next, we're flying through the woods in what can only be described as a mechanical crayfish, where we see some grotesque teddy bears with bad teeth that only a child from a broken home would find in his nightmares. Apparently, the stormtroopers have learned how to talk since the last film as well, and make for some truly riveting dialogue and crucial character development. We find that Lando is no chump at all, as he helps to bring down the dark side and the Imperial forces once and for all. The dark side attempts to turn Luke to the dark side, while the rest of the crew is captured for what seems like the 87th time. The teddy bears of the trees, not to be confused with the children of the corn, to save the day. The Emperor of the Dark Side has a more prominent role in this film, as he portrays a futuristic alien version of Don King in his gratuitous attempts to promote the fight of the century between Luke and his father. This has WrestleMania main event written all over it. Spoiler alert, Vader goes soft and is influenced by the light as he throws the Emperor into a wormhole, saving his son Luke's life, but not before losing his hand. This apparently has some sort of effect on Vader's health, and he begins to die, but not before it is revealed when his mask is removed that this whole time Vader was Dan Aykroyd from the Conehead skits on Saturday Night Live, and his voice has also changed, and he is unable to bring that Barry White baritone we have come to know no longer. Leia convinces a jealous and insecure Han Solo, with clear abandonment issues, probably related to his childhood and his need to be best friends with a Sasquatch, that Luke is only her brother and that Han is her one and only lover. Vader dies and is burned in effigy as Mark Hamill looks on emotionless, bringing the worst acting performance since his last portrayals of Luke in the first two films. The ghost of Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan, and Yoda take us home, much like Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg do in the movie Ghost. The trilogy is now concluded, and I must go back in time now to the prequels and learn how all this came to be. Perhaps a better question is, why? So until next time, I hope you enjoyed this one and were able to understand perhaps 3 or even 4 words that I have spoken. Time to get pumped for the prequel. Of course I know what I'm doing, you fucking jackass.